This is Hooked by Happenstance. I'm Kendra, and it is time for chapter 18 of Yarn Tales. Yarn Tales is my ongoing series here at Hooked by Happenstance where I read books, I tell you a bit about them, and then I apply some silly Kendra rules to my rating of the book, and I add a segment to my crocheted reading shawl. Now, this reading shawl is like a tangible book log of sorts to help me, I don't know, kind of be more okay with the large amount of reading I am doing, because it helps me to enjoy a hobby more when there is a tangible product at the end. And as you know, reading just kind of lives in your brain, which, while that is all well and good and makes me very happy, I sometimes have difficulty with it. So this has proven to make my reading more pleasurable all around, and I get to share books with y'all, and that is pretty fun. Now, today's book has an interesting crochet connection and is also different than any of the other books I've talked about so far. So let me begin by telling you the interesting crochet connection. So I and many of you follow Karen Crochet in the various places, and she has a daughter who is a vivid hairstylist, and so I follow her daughter's account because I enjoy professionally done vivid hairstyles, and she is the one and only like meme account that I follow because I find the memes her daughter selects to be pretty funny. So I think that is where I came across this person originally. I am a huge fan of webcomics across the board, especially I get most of them through Instagram, and then sometimes I will follow the sites from there to the individual artist pages. But one of my like top 5 favorite webcomics right now is Sarah Anderson's comics. Sarah Anderson happens to be friends with Karen's daughter, and Karen has been a very long time supporter of my vlog and all the things. And so that's really fun that I like found this person who turns out to be a legit cartoonist who has a legit physical book. I think she has more than one book, but I read Adulthood is a Myth, a Sarah Scribbles collection by Sarah Anderson. This is a graphic novel. Now, I tend to take the term graphic novel to mean it like tells a story, and this is more just like it says, a Sarah Scribbles collection. It is a collection of comics, so they're not like, it's not like an arc. It's just a bunch of different comics all relating to, I guess, the like, I don't know, adulthood, but like early adulting, which is kind of interesting. So I gave this book 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. The only thing that might have made it better is if there was more of like an arc, but that's just not how her comics are written. It's not how she seems to work it. Some artists do, some don't. It all depends. But I really like the graphic style. There are some things that are my favorite in this book. I really like the images of the main character. She will sometimes put on giant sweatshirts and then flap her arms in them, and you see them and it makes you feel like you're doing it, and it seems very pleasant, and I enjoy that. So I recommend you all find one of these images, the flappy arms, because it will make you smile. She also has some very good commentary in relation to bras, like across the board, and how they're just, fashion and bras don't seem to go together, nor do function and bras half the time, and I really enjoy that. And she also does a really great angry looking uterus who has feelings on all sorts of things, and that is wonderful too. But I guess that my favorite, I really like the flappy arm thing, my favorite kind of thing that goes across the books is, instead of having cats, like everyone seems obsessed with cats right now, and while I have cats, I don't have the gene that everybody seems to have, that like cat pictures and dog pictures and all, like, it doesn't give me the warm fuzzies. I don't care to see other people's animals, like, it just, I'm missing that gene. But she draws this adorable bunny, like, curled up on the bed, or just the, like, emotional support bunny is what it seems like. Just, I really like it. Makes me happy. So, that is my feelings on this book. I read it via ebook on my phone through Libby, which is the online app for Overdrive, which I get for free from my local library. And they have, like, you can search by different sections, and I was going through, and I thought, hey, let's mix things up. I haven't read a graphic novel in a while. I've really only made it through, like, full-size graphic novels, a few. Like, 3 maybe over time. And I really enjoyed the ones that I read. My favorite was a book called Blankets. It's like thick, and it is a continuous story, but I enjoy diary comics and all sorts of different forms. I'm not really into like superhero comic books though, or manga. So it's like a really weird and difficult cross-section of comics that I'm interested in, and they're hard to find. So I was flipping through to see what was available, because I was like, let's look under that heading, and look under graphic novels, and boom, there is somebody that I follow on Instagram who has a book, and that was really exciting, because I wanted to see the book. I don't go to bookstores, I don't buy books online, so I don't have them. But this gave me good access to it. The one thing I thought was funny is reading it on my phone. I read most of this book like in bed. Either before I'd go to sleep, I'd read a few. It was a nice way to like close off my night. I actually read a lot of them in bed in the morning, like as I was waking up or trying to not get out of bed because it was cold. I would be reading these rather than, you know, perusing the social internet. But I did keep having the problem of, since I ordinarily read this person's comics on Instagram, I kept trying to double tap my screen to like the picture, and then it would jump me forward 2 pages because I tapped my screen once to turn every page, which that was a first world problem, but it was a problem nonetheless. Now, I'm sure you all would like to see my reading shawl, and I got to add a new yarn that I haven't used yet because this is the first physical book that I have read for shawl number 2. So since March, this was the first physical book that I read. Now, I have picked a different yarn for my yarn shawl for each kind of book. So there's a yarn for physical books and audio books that I read by myself. There's also a yarn for Life's Library books, which is a subscription service I have, and books that I experience with my children. Well, this was a physical book all my own, so the yarn I used was this one, which is a cattails yarn. This is the Black Aja colorway on her Korat base. And here, whoop, my hook is still hooked in there. Here is what it looks like. So it's added this new pattern, the stitch pattern. Each yarn, it's usually a different yarn for the type of books. I have a different pattern stitch, and then I put in a row of textured single crochet to show how many stars the book got, to kind of show the ratings. And as you can see, I've been having really, really good books so far in March, which has been exciting. And it's giving me a good chance to see all the new and pretty yarns and get to experience all the new things in the newest shawl that I'm working on. So this is the 3rd yarn I've added. We'll see, it might be a little while till the 4th one comes up, but I'm liking how it's all playing together. If you're interested in seeing the rest of the Yarn Tales videos, there is a playlist here on the channel that includes everything that I have read so far this year. And there's also a playlist for last year's reading shawl, which used a different way of doing it. But if you want to hear about the books I read then, that is an option. If you subscribe down below, these videos just pop into your feed. I don't publish on any particular schedule, so if you want to make sure you don't miss out on anything here at Hooked by Happenstance, subscribing is the best way, because then they just pop into your feed when I upload them. And I will see you all next time. Bye!